One word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing.
Yes.
A beast.
When a legend speaks, the basketball world listens. And what WNBA icon Cynthia Cooper just said about Caitlin Clark has the entire league buzzing. Iowa basketball legend Caitlin Clark is the biggest name in women's basketball after her dominant rookie year with the Indiana Fever. So much so that the Fever sold out a preseason game at Clark's alma mater. As Clark gears up for her second season with Fever, four-time WNBA champion Cynthia Cooper heaped massive praise on the 23-year-old and described her rookie year as the ultimate truth. She's the truth. Cynthia Cooper on Caitlin Clark. Cooper had an incredible career in the WNBA spanning over a decade and a half. She has a stacked trophy case featuring 4 consecutive league championships, 4 Finals MVP awards, 2 WNBA MVP awards, and was also a 2-time NCAA champion. The Hall of Famer had a great coaching career in the NCAA as well. During her appearance on a May 15th episode of the All the Smoke podcast with former NBA players Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, Cooper was asked to describe Clark in one word and came up with an apt answer. Amazing, she replied before adding, a beast. She is the truth. She's the truth, and she was a rookie. She can knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's crafty. Sometimes she looks like she's coming off for a three-point shot, then backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass. She can shoot. She is the complete basketball player. Cooper continued of Clark. It's not often we see the WNBA legends giving Clark her flowers, but she certainly deserves all the praise. In 2024, she averaged an impressive 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 8.4 assists per game. Her scoring prowess was evident, but it was her playmaking ability that truly stood out. In a record-breaking year, Clark shattered the WNBA single-season assist record. With a remarkable 337 assists, she surpassed the previous mark set by Sue Bird, 316, demonstrating her exceptional court vision and passing accuracy. This achievement solidified her status as one of the league's premier facilitators, a point guard capable of not only scoring at a high level, but also elevating the play of her teammates. Clark's ability to consistently find open players, as highlighted by Cooper, and create scoring opportunities was a key factor in the Fever's improved performance throughout the season. While the team's overall record, 20-20, might not fully reflect her individual brilliance, Clark's contributions were undeniable, and her record-breaking assist season will be remembered as a historic achievement in the WNBA. Clark's solid performance in the Fever's preseason has fans buzzing with anticipation for the upcoming WNBA season, and she will be one of the favorites to win her first WNBA MVP trophy.
One word to describe Caitlin Clark.
Amazing.
Yes.
A beast. She is the truth. And I mean, she's the truth, and she was a rookie. Right?
Yeah.
Knock down the three-pointer, get to the rim. She can get to the free throw line. She's
the ball.
crafty.
Yeah, very crafty.
Crafty. So sometimes she look like she's coming off for a three-point shot and she backdoors you for a layup. She gets her teammates involved. She can pass. She can shoot. Man, she is a complete basketball player.
WNBA players have weirdly been fighting growth. Get out of your own way. It is a bad look. Colin Cowherd pushes back against the segment of gatekeeping WNBA fans and players who are upset with the amount of attention that Caitlin Clark receives.
There's these people who are fans of indie bands, international soccer, and the WNBA. They have this gatekeeping mentality. We'll tell you who's great. Colin, I was watching the WNBA long before Caitlin Clark. Well, yeah, it's not my problem your social life was boring. I'm not going to apologize for watching it when it got really interesting. And I've said this about Steph Curry. I love Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler and pods. But if you take Steph Curry out of the Warriors, they're kind of boring. And if you take Caitlin Clark out of the WNBA and her team, it's not the same. She's packing now larger arenas. She's taking and making shots nobody's ever done in the history of the sport. She is Steph Curry. I mean, there's a reason the NBA puts Steph Curry on Christmas. And privately, the NBA with Steph Curry out of the playoffs knows Minnesota's not going to get the same number. WNBA players weirdly have been fighting growth. Stop fighting the truth. Get out of your own way. It is a bad look. She is a fascinating player, and it must be exhausting hating new cool things.
Rebecca Lobo. I was asked about my expectations for the Indiana Fever this season. I think they are championship contenders along with the Las Vegas Aces, Minnesota Lynx, and New York Liberty.
What are your expectations, RL?
Well, after the moves that Indiana made in free agency, I think this is a team that's a championship contender. They brought back their big three from a year ago. Of course, Caitlin Clark had a monster year, Aaliyah Boston as well, Kelsey Mitchell, and then all of the pieces that they added in free agency. Tawana Bonner was a huge pickup for this team, Natasha Howard as well. Both of those players give them flexibility in terms of the lineups they can use. Sophie Cunningham was a great addition for the Indiana Fever as well. They have a much more favorable early schedule than they did a year ago, but I think they are up in the conversation with championship contenders along with the New York Liberty, the Las Vegas Aces, and the Minnesota Lynx.
I know it's a small sample size, but their defense, at least in the preseason, looks a lot better than a year ago when they were second worst in scoring. That, of course, is going to be the 3 o'clock game of our doubleheader. That first.
Well, I think I've just been waiting to play basketball for a really long time now. You know, you go through the preseason games, you go through a lot of training camp. It's been a few weeks now. I think you're just itching to get out there and really play like a real game. That's going to count towards your record. But I mean, I feel like I have a better understanding of how everything works, a better understanding of what to expect when you get in the game, when you get in these environments. You know, I've played in this arena for a year now, so I think just relying on the experience of playing here for a year, but also like this is going to be this team's first time playing together too. So there's going to be a learning curve there and a challenge that's presented, and it's not everything's going to be perfect. It's just got to play through it, play through the mistakes. That's what Coach Steph talks about all the time. So, you know, just learn and go out there and compete and get the win.
From the outside, this team looks a lot different. There's a lot of new faces on this year's team. There's more expectations for a deeper run in the postseason. Do you feel that from the inside too? There's maybe a different feel for this year compared to last year?
You know, I always expect to win, whether it's last year or whether it's this year. I think last year, you know, our goal was getting back to the playoffs. So coming in here as a rookie, that's kind of what we were expected to do. And then, you know, this year our front office made a lot of really great changes to be able to put this roster together and construct a team that can really win now if we, you know, do everything the right way. But, you know, it's a long season. It's 44 games. It's going to take a lot of time. And then once you get to the playoffs, that's when you need to be playing your best basketball. So in our locker room, I mean, you know, we expect to win championships, and, you know, that's what we're going to try to do.
Is there anything you did or thought about last year going into your season opener that you're changing this year with the knowledge of knowing this team?
Honestly, I don't even really remember season opener last year. Maybe that's a good thing. I think just going out there and having fun and being confident. And, you know, I've been in this league for a year now. I know I belong. I know I can perform. And I know I can make my teammates better every single night. And that's my job. So just being confident in that and, you know, coming out here and doing, not everything's going to be perfect. Give yourself grace. You know, there's going to be really good moments. There's going to be moments where you struggle. So just trying to stay as neutral as I can and stay positive. But I think just being confident, and, you know, I've been in these moments before and I'm ready for them.
Before last season, I think you had a lighthearted moment, goal to put just smile, like this chaos smile. Is that the message again, or what have you thought about going into that?
Yeah, I think I play my best basketball when I'm having fun. So that's certainly my goal, and I feel like that's when I began to play really good basketball last year too, is when I just was relaxed and having fun and playing my game and getting my teammates involved, getting the crowd involved. I think smiling goes a long way, not only for your teammates that are looking at you and watching you as a leader on the court, but also for myself. Like, that's a stress reliever too. So, you know, just smile and have fun. That's always what I try to remind myself. That's the reason I play this game every single day, is because I love it. You know, why else would you do it if you didn't love it? So just remind myself of that.
One thing that Leo was saying is that players, you can't really get too caught up in rivalries. But you know, fans now love this rivalry, Chicago and Indiana, because of the geographic closeness. What do you think it means to have rivalries like that in the game that people kind of extra look forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I think rivalries are good for all of sports. You know, I grew up, and whether it was the high school football team that my grandpa coached, playing their rival, like I grew up not liking the rival high school, even though like I was 5 years old. That was just because what my family did. So like rivalries are real, and that's what makes sports so amazing. You know, there's certain teams that those games just mean a little bit more. So I think for our team though, you know, you come out here and you play the same way every single night, but I think it gets the fans involved and they love it. And, you know, I think it's a great part of sport is having those rivalries that people get really amped up about and love coming in this arena and cheering for.
Is there any correlation between your first game as a freshman in college and your first game as a sophomore and your first game as a pro? And then, because it seems to me like it's a world of difference coming in your second year as a pro.
I think it's like you show up in a new chapter of your life is like, all right, well, you know, you're trying to prove to yourself, you're trying to prove to everybody that you belong, and you're trying to find your way, you're trying to earn your spot and earn your minutes. So I think when you come into your second season, whether, you know, it's in college or whether it's professionally or even if it's really in high school, like, you know, you belong, you know what the coach expects of you, you know teammates, you know how things operate. You just have a different sense of confidence about you, and you know how to respond when, you know, things don't go your way, and you know how to, you know, appreciate the really good moments and still learn from those too. So for me, I think just in the second year is just the confidence of, you know, what I was able to do in year one. And by no means is it going to be the same. Like, you don't want it to be the same. It's a different team. You're going to create a new identity, and we're going to create a new culture and hopefully be able to win more and hopefully perform better. But, you know, every year is going to be different. Every game is going to be different. So I think just rely on the confidence of, you know, being in similar moments.
It seems like the WNBA can present a lot of learning opportunities for any player. I don't know for you in the offseason if there's anything that sticks out as something that you really learned about yourself. I don't know if like kind of having to deal with a preseason injury, if that's something you feel like you had to learn something to really learn something about yourself through that.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I think becoming a pro is where you learn a lot. And, you know, I could have gone through this whole offseason and not done anything. Like, that's just the reality. Like, there's not a team lift scheduled on your phone in the middle of the summer. Like, that's just not how it works. Like, you're a professional. Like, you make your calendar, you make your schedule, you make your routine, you make your workouts, and, you know, you have to be diligent in that. And I think, you know, I'm one of those players that loves to know I'm getting every single thing done. So I think it's just having discipline, and I feel like that's what I've always had in my life, and that's a skill like not everybody can have all the time. So I feel very fortunate of the coaches, the mentors, the other teammates that I've had that have held me accountable throughout my life. Like, once you become a pro, like, these are the things that really matter. You have to act like that. You have to, you know, be accountable in January to your teammates now. Like, what are you doing in January to be better for the moments like tomorrow?
What were the motivations or things you were thinking about during those 8 a.m. workouts when it's, you know, in the dead of winter?
I think for myself, like, I know there's so much room for me to improve. Like, that's always what I remind myself. And for me, it's like I don't really have to find motivation to get in the gym. Like, sure, like, I mean, I can be motivated that we like made it to the playoffs and lost both games, but like, I love it. Like, I crave wanting to be better. I know I can get a lot better. Like, I don't think I've arrived by any means. I don't think I'm at the peak of my game yet. So it's just like, you know, grinding for those moments and being consistent. Like, if you do it once a week, like, that's never going to show up all summer long. So just being consistent and having a routine and continue to do it over and over. So when we get into moments in, you know, September and October, those things really shine.
Caitlin, what you've seen from this team in the preseason, has it only heightened your expectations or justified expectations for this team?
I mean, I think it's, you know, my expectation is the same of us winning championships, but like, when I take the court tomorrow, that's not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about one possession, I'm thinking about one quarter, I'm thinking about how can I put my teammates in positions to be successful. Like, if you're thinking so far down the road, or if you're thinking even to the next game, like, that's a disservice to your teammates, that's a disservice to the fans here. It's, you know, what can we do every single possession to win this game? So that's what I'll be thinking about. And